So good. Every town, every city has its hot spots and hidden gems. Join us as we travel the back roads and the main highways, sharing the untold stories behind the food, drink, culture, and notable people that make up these unique treasures. Come on, let's dine out along the road.
Hi, good morning.
Do you need any help?
Can I get a, just like I did on Wednesday, like a big box of mix, flavor, emerald, and the fall? This is where we get all of our fruits and vegetables, from our onions to garlic to everything. We have a pretty small space, not a whole lot of storage, so we have to, you know, restock every couple days. Hola, Chuy. Lo siento.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
Chef, how many times a week do you come out to the market? Just once a week, or?
Twice. I do Wednesdays downtown, and then this Saturday one.
Yeah. You were talking a little bit about this is a really good time to be in the farmer's market because we're in sort of a transition phase from the summer produce to the fall produce, right?
Well, I think it's just the best time of year in general. You get the end of the stone fruit, so you get some really, really great plums. Still, you get some peaches and nectarines. The tomatoes are perfect right now. And then all the peppers, of course, are just coming on.
Yeah.
Autumn squashes. So you get a little bit of both. You get the fall and the summer.
You think about the great chefs of the world. I mean, they're the guys coming to the farmer's market in the morning to really create a flavor distinction to their food. Why do you do it?
You know, it's the only way that I've ever known. It's the only way. My first restaurant job, you know, we changed the menu every single day. We were getting farms dropping off produce every single day. And my job at that time was to receive all the produce, all of the meat, all of the fish, all of the ingredients, to check it in, to inventory it, to store it. So that's kind of just how I came up in the restaurant business, was seeing it done that way. My wife, who's my business partner, we talk about, oh, maybe it'd be easier on everybody if we just had a set menu. But I think it'd be harder on us. I don't think we know exactly how to do it that way, to come up with something that's static, that stays the same. You know, what happens if a new produce comes available? What happens if something, the dynamic of the Romano beans changes this week? You know, how do you maintain your menu as the ingredients change every day?
I'm gonna get started. Tonight, we have for our snacks the cauliflower pickles with turmeric and sesame seeds. This is pinnacle cauliflower. It's been pickled in apple cider vinegar, a little fresh turmeric, a little dried turmeric for seasoning and for color, and then a little bit of coriander and chili that gets pickled for about a week, and they'll be served chilled with some black and white toasted sesame seeds on top. Warm green.
This looks absolutely stunning. What'd you make here, Scotty?
This is featured on tonight's menu, actually. It's our plum and burrata salad. The variety of plums is fall fiesta. We're doing a transition into fall time.
Yeah.
So what we did is we just sliced these plums up fresh, marinated them with a little apple cider vinaigrette, some toasted chopped hazelnuts, some micro basil, all locally grown. We just picked these plums up from the farmer's market today. We also have straight Italian burrata that we get from Italy, Di Stefano. It's like one of the best.
What do you like to do? Kind of break the cheese
I like to
first?
break the cheese up first. We have this little pool of olive oil. I like to let it kind of drop down and run into the rest of the dish.
Take a little scoop of the cheese.
Take a little bit of cheese, maybe a little bit of plums. Enjoy.
Wow. That is awesome. That is so delicious. I love the cheese, the texture. The fruit is so fresh. It's got a sweet, sort of a savory connection to that.
Right.
That is so good. That is so delicious. That's the reason why you do farm to table. How did you get started in the culinary arts?
My first cooking job was in Hawaii, actually. Maui, that's where I'm from. When I moved here 5 years ago, my first job here was here at Bantam, just starting as prep and pantry. And I just loved the way they did things, watching the restaurant grow from no one to now having a full restaurant every weekend, every night almost. Wow. That's like one of the most amazing things that now I feel like I'm part of this family. And so with Ben, we just kind of grew over 5 years, became great partners. We communicate really well together. We know now how to kind of read each other's minds and how I can fulfill his vision. And he's like totally comfortable having that time to actually be an owner of the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's better makes all.
Basically, at its core, you have a pizza restaurant, but you have some really amazing culinary chops. I mean, you've got a French classical training, and you're applying that to making pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like for you?
You know, it offers a little bit of both. So the pizza has like a little bit of a fast and a little bit of casual and a little bit of rock and roll, but you can make it a little bit special. So you don't have to get too strict. You don't have to be too uptight about it. But you can still make it a little bit more exciting. We have a pretty international menu. I think I'm open to a lot of different cuisines, open to a lot of different styles, depending on people I work with, depending on what produce is dictating to us that week. You know, there might be some new peppers that I don't normally use in my cuisine. They might be offered at a good price right now. I have to find a way to use those. It might be, you know, the best topping for the pizza, or it might be the best side for the fish that I haven't come up with.
You know, there are so many restaurants and so much competition, especially in a tourist destination like this. Mm-hmm. What do you have most pride in terms of how you go about running your culinary business?
You know, it is a very visited town. There's a lot of tourists. We found a spot that was a little off the beaten path, so we wouldn't necessarily rely on the visitors, and we could really focus on just the locals. So, you know, I take most pride in looking out in the dining room. We have an open kitchen, and being able to recognize at least half, probably 75% of the tables out there. So seeing the same people come back week in, week out, a couple times a week, 2 nights in a row, as a couple, as a family, with their friends. So I feel like we offer something for every iteration. We offer something for the kids, we offer something for their grandparents. And that's my biggest pride, is just seeing the repeat business.
You're going to be visually seen every day. You've got this open kitchen concept. You've got this really cool urban contemporary vibe here. What's that like for you on the line when you have customers?
It's like a stage.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, yeah. The show's about to start at 5 o'clock, and you know, if your drum set's not on stage right at when set time's on, you're not going to be able to play your show. So it gets intense sometimes, but honestly, it's so fun. It's like you're playing a concert. It's an art form at that point.
And then we're going into salmon?
Sorry, there's 22 trout to start, and it's going to be going into salmon. That's also Washington salmon, and it's going to be medium rare, you know, cooked the same exact way as the trout would be. Yeah.
Same price as the trout.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
In the line of cooking, the sous chef doesn't always get the credit that they deserve. I mean, why do you do that? I mean, why do you do what you do? I mean, what's your fuel and passion for cooking?
What really drives me, I mean, just knowing how much all the customers appreciate everything here. We have regulars that we recognize now and know by name, like all these amazing people that come in, and honestly, being like the community spot here drives me to make everyone happy every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, we have so much love for the food. We taste everything that goes out, that it's just become this whole part of Santa Cruz now.
Santa Cruz's Museum of Art and History focuses on building community through exhibition, events, and projects which connect people to art, history, ideas, and to each other across generations and many walks of life. For most of us, our experience with Santa Cruz is the boardwalk and the beach, but those of us that stay there forget about this amazing sort of eclectic experiences downtown, and your museum is right in the middle of this social hub.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how this all came about.
Well, you know, in 1989, the earthquake really transformed a lot of the Bay Area, but the epicenter was here in Santa Cruz, Sac County. And so downtown Santa Cruz was decimated, and out of that, there was all this energy to say, how are we gonna keep the creativity of this community alive? How are we gonna keep our downtown economically vibrant? And part of that redevelopment was the creation of this museum. And it was really intended to be a creative and cultural hub for the city, right downtown. And today, between the exhibitions, the events we have multiple times a week, and then the plaza outside, it's really become that creative town square for our community.
You know, and we're in the second floor, the historical part of the museum, but you have 3 floors of amazing exhibits. Tell me a little bit about, from the moment I walk in, what am I going to experience?
So, you know, our whole focus here at the Moz, we call it, is to say, you can walk out, you can make art, you can make history, and we want you to be inspired to yourself, be creative, to connect with community in a new way. When you get into our elevator, you'll see it's full of the Screaming Hand, one of the most iconic skateboard images in the world that was started right here in Santa Cruz. You get up in the elevator here where there's the History Gallery. We also have an incredible rotating art exhibition. Right now, it's extraordinary art that actually is all about honoring different stories, so very similar to this in terms of the inspiration. And then on the 3rd floor, we always have an exhibition that invites you to go deeper into an issue. And so this winter, we're working with a Chilean artist on an exhibition that's all about the dislocation that comes with being an immigrant. And so he overlays landscapes of Chile and landscapes of California in the deserts to say, you know, where am I? And thinking about that idea that when you move somewhere new, how do you find connection?
Well, it's an absolutely colorful, beautiful, cultural expression of this area. For someone who's never been here, who's never experienced this museum, give me the elevator pitch. What would you tell them why they should come to this museum and experience this amazing art and culture?
Honestly, I wouldn't say anything about the stuff. What I would say is the minute you walk in this museum, a kind, fun, creative person is going to greet you and make you feel welcome. And whatever you're looking for on that particular day, whether it's a 15-minute break from shopping or whether it's to spend a whole afternoon diving deep, our wonderful staff are going to help you have a great experience here with your friends, with your family. If you speak Spanish, everything here is in English and Spanish. All of our staff members are happy to welcome you. If you have little kids, if you have older adults, we feel like there's something for everyone here. You'll see a lot of little touches through this museum, like chairs everywhere, interactive things for people to touch, opportunities to do something with your kid. It's really important to us to make sure that people feel like this art and history is for all of us.
Offering a different perspective on flavor in Santa Cruz, 515 Kitchen and Cocktails serves a supernatural level of liquid artistry, which celebrates the bounty of the Central Coast in a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere. Dan, man, I saw you working back here, going crazy. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, man.
Yeah,
Nice
you're like you're one part mixologist, one part artist, one part mad scientist. What'd you make for us?
We got 3 drinks today. The first one is a 5:15.
Okay.
There's a stirred drink on our menu. It features bullet bourbon, kind of an industry staple. Chinar, which is a vegetal amari. It features artichoke. And then we got some Nola bitters in there, which is a New Orleans coffee liqueur by St. George.
Yeah, it's got a really warm, spicy little finish to it, man. That's delicious, and you can really tell that little orange note in there kicks up there in the end. That's delicious. Really, really good. What else did you make here for us?
The second one is a shaken cocktail on the menu. It's a bit hot and a bit sweet. It's called Cinder and Smoke. It features Espolón, which is reposado tequila made in Los Altos.
Oh, wow.
Pelton de Muerte, which is a mezcal. And then we have creme de mure in there, which is a blackberry liqueur, lemon, and some hellfire bitters, which is that heat you taste on the end of it there.
Yeah, it's got that little spicy finish. The mezcal, you can really taste it. That is really delicious, and it's refreshing.
Glad you like
really
it.
refreshing.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff, man. Really good, really good. What's the last one you made?
And the third one is one of my own. I hail from Burlington, Vermont, so this is something I brought with me. Call it the rose tinted glasses. It's Junipero gin, Bekarovka, which is a Czech herbal liqueur, green chartreuse, which is very medicinal, and egg white, and some simple syrup.
Wow, that's really good.
Glad you like it.
That's really good. It's almost kind of like a sweet sour kind of finish on it, really refreshing. I mean, these are really delicious. I mean, this is outstanding. I love the mezcal in there. It's fabulous. Where does your inspiration come from when you come up with these really cool drink ideas?
Well, I mean, like, sometimes I work backwards. So you like pick a bitter or something weird, like a rhubarb bitter or a celery bitter, and then try to build something on top of that. If you start with a base spirit, you can certainly do that too. But I find it easier to be creative if you start with something daunting and work your way back to something you're comfortable with. You know, if that makes any sense, and just kind of taste a lot along the way to make sure that the final product is something worth handing to somebody.
What are some of the signature drinks here at 515 that people love?
These are two of the most popular for sure. Cinder and Smoke is, I feel like you already said it, but summery and refreshing and hot, and I feel like this beach town kind of revels in that kind of a direction. So a lot of the cocktails on our menu, especially for me coming from Vermont, they seem to be very much more summery and forward in that direction than I'm used to. It's actually been fun because I never really had experience making this particular styling of drink. There's also, you know, we pride ourselves on being able to make classics that people love and being able to make something up on the spot for somebody. So I guess it's kind of a cool bundle of like summer and really intelligent, beautiful coworkers that I have, and you know, just trying to meet people where they're at with something that they might enjoy.
Yeah. What would you want to share with folks about the experience here at 515 when they come in and, you know, sit down in this really relaxing environment? What do you want them to walk away with when they leave here?
Being content, you know. I feel like it's not the most often that you leave a bar having enjoyed every beverage that you had. You know, you might have a critique about one or a direction you wish something had gone in another circumstance. I think that we all aim to please and to more so have people leave not just moderately happy with what they received, but excited to come back and try something else.
West End Tap Kitchen proudly offers flavors of a traditional pub with a California twist, which pairs perfectly with one of the many craft beers or wine selections. A fun, affordable dining experience. There are tap rooms and then there are gastro pubs, but there's not a lot of tap rooms that have mussels and this beautiful sauce with these burgers. Tell me a little bit about this little dish here.
So those are our mussels. We offer them for lunch and for dinner as an appetizer. They have shallots and white wine.
It's got a little spicy hint to it.
There is
kind of a creamy
jalapenos
butter.
in this
Yeah, it's
one.
really good. And this wine you paired it with?
So that Chardonnay is what I would describe as a newer style Chardonnay. So it's not very buttery, it's not very oaky, it's a lot lighter, a lot more citrusy. It doesn't taste, so some people love it and some people prefer like a traditional one. I think it goes well with the mussels. So you don't want something too heavy with it.
Yeah, no, it's very crispy and light and nice little finish. Not super fruit forward, but you can totally taste that citrus in there.
Citrus
really, almost some melon notes in there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really, really good. One of the things I hear about all over town is your burgers. They're really popular. People talk about them. Can I try a little bite of this burger?
Oh, you have to. It's the best. It's so good.
So what's in it? I see the bacon and.
So there's bacon and there's cheddar cheese. We actually grind up bacon or pork, and there is pork inside the burger as well. So people absolutely love that burger. You can actually eat it with nothing on it. There's also, like, without cheese or anything, it's the best burger I've ever eaten.
Oh my God, it's so good.
The
bun is awesome. The fresh produce in there is amazing. But the superstar is the meat.
Yeah, the meat is
in there is ridiculously good. That is so delicious. And those fries, exactly where I like them. A little crispy. And the beer that you've matched it with, tell me a little bit about this.
This is Hermitage, yes, and their beer, this is the Citra. It's one of their most popular IPAs. Floral, citrusy, a little bit of pine. It's not super bitter, it's very well balanced.
That's it. You know, and I love beer. I'm a beer guy. I don't like my beer to be super hoppy, and that isn't, and I can really taste those citrus notes in there. It's really, really delicious, but not over the top. With that burger, I mean, that's an everyday kind of experience.
Yeah, people come in all the time for that burger and that beer. So.
Yeah, very good. Tell me a little bit about, what fuels you to keep doing this and managing a cool gastropub like this.
I love restaurants.
Yeah?
I love people. So I get to get out and talk to people, and I think if you can make somebody's experience when they go out to eat like something that they remember because you cared that they were going to have a good time, that is the most important thing, because they're going out, they're spending their time and their money, and they should have a perfect time. They should enjoy it. They should walk away thinking like that was the best food and best service I've had.
What are you most proud of?
This actual part, the Swift Street Marketplace, is kind of like its unofficial name, has only gotten popular or been around maybe 6 years or so, but people will drive from Carmel, San Jose. We got a lot of people from San Francisco that come here for this restaurant because they've heard really good things about it. And when you get people to drive from a different city all the way here, it's pretty good. And I mean, I'm very proud to work here. I love to tell people that I work here. I think that I've worked in restaurants for 19 years. I've worked in Vegas and Reno. I've worked in Santa Cruz. And I've never worked at a restaurant that works as well as this one. It's just a really awesome place to work. I love working here.
Yeah, you might be on the west side, but you're on the right side of food and beer.